Are you stuck in a sexless marriage, dealing with constant rejection and feeling more like roommates than lovers with your wife? What if I told you the real reason she has pulled away has nothing to do with her, but everything to do with a hidden cultural programming that's been quietly sabotaging men's relationships? After helping over 600 men reignite the passion in their relationship, a clear pattern emerged. Certain approaches created real intimacy, while others quietly pushed her further away. And I used that data to develop a method that was so effective that it was featured in a Vice documentary and has been helping married men for almost a decade. It is the exact method that Brian here used to go from 8 years in a sexless marriage to his wife initiating sex in only 4 days. It helped Peter to go from the brink of divorce to saving his marriage in a matter of days. It helped another client go from 9 years dying in a sexless marriage to not being able to take their minds and bodies off each other. And countless men have their wives say they are sex gods in bed. So if you are tired of feeling rejected, then pay close attention, because this video could save your marriage once and for all. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how to start using this method today. But first, you need to understand the 3 biggest lies you've been told that are keeping you trapped in a sexless marriage. The first lie is that if you can't satisfy her in bed, you're not man enough. Let me show you how changing that belief can change everything for you. Take my client Xander, for example, a father who had been with his wife for decades. He said this:
I always felt like I wasn't enough. I had always struggled with confidence in my own sexuality, and that's something that came very naturally to my wife.
he believed his worth as a man depended on whether his wife wanted him and how well he performed in bed. When his wife finally told him that,
So, you know what? This is a fundamental need that I need in my life. Not just accept my fate as some flawed sexual partner.
he went into this.
Deep state of depression. I didn't sleep or eat for 10 days. Back of her mind, she was always wishing that was something that could happen with us. It wasn't good. I felt like an 8-year-old trapped in a 48-year-old body. A lot of couples in our situation probably may have gotten divorced. I needed to save my marriage.
He tried 4 different therapies, running every day, meditating constantly, but nothing worked because he was still focused on the wrong thing. But here's what he discovered. This belief wasn't his fault. He had learned early in life that performance meant love, that he had to earn love instead of just receiving it. So, working together for 9 weeks, Sander realized this.
Now I've learned what was holding me back. And that was discovering the source of some trauma in my childhood, facing it, healing it.
And when he healed those wounds, something amazing happened.
Fuck this. I am enough. I'm enough for myself. I'm enough for her. And she sort of sensed me acting with a more of a quiet confidence.
His wife fell in love with him again, not because he became a better performer, but because he became a more confident, present man.
She definitely sees a different person. It brought us closer together as human beings, to where it's not really about sex as much as a commitment to becoming better versions of ourselves together.
Sanders shows that your worth as a man has nothing to do with sexual performance. The reality is that beliefs like these are programmed into you by society, and they can sabotage your marriage without even realizing it. Even if you're not obsessed with sexual performance and you know your self-worth is independent of that, you might never get a chance to show that if your wife has lost trust and won't even work on the relationship. That's exactly what brings us to the second lie. It takes 2 people to rebuild trust in a marriage. The reality is that only one person needs to change to fix a relationship. Take Austin, for example. He was facing divorce after 12 years of marriage. Here's what he told me.
I was in a very bad place. I was contemplating getting divorced from my wife. Sex was always a challenge. We have done lots of marriage counseling and nothing really was working. She asked me not to touch her unless I asked. The trust issues were that bad.
Everyone told him he needed his wife's participation to rebuild trust, therapy, communication, teamwork. But that was a trap. Austin was stuck in old patterns, always trying to change her by blaming her. And worse, whenever he didn't get the sex and the affection he wanted, he would slip into needy energy.
I was acting like a needy boy and really not a man. In that sense, it was worse than just not having sex.
And that energy pushed her away even more and kept him stuck in the lie that she had to change for the marriage to heal. But here's what Austin discovered that changed everything. When one person stopped trying to force or fix the other and instead becomes steady, trustworthy, and grounded, the other naturally feels that shift. Kind of like when you smile at someone, the other smile back. That's what Austin did. He stopped chasing her trust and started living as the man worthy of it. Within 3 weeks of working together, something miraculous happened.
Within about 3 weeks, she noticed the shift. She asked me to have sex, and I was kind of caught off guard, but I was like, oh my gosh, this actually works.
And after 9 weeks of working together, he learned the truth.
If you as a one person change, it will change the other person. One person can be the catalyst for the change in the other person. The last week, we ended up having sex like 3 times in 7 days. And it was like different sex. It was like good sex that was healthy emotionally for both of us. I was finally able to serve her with my sexuality and masculinity instead of trying to get something from her. And that was a huge shift for me as well.
Austin's story shows that rebuilding trust doesn't require 2 people. It only requires one person committed to becoming worthy of that trust. Because when you stop being the needy boy who tries to get love, you become the grounded man who gives love. She can finally feel safe to respond. But here's what happened next. Even when you understand it's not about performance and you know you can rebuild trust on your own, you're still thinking, okay, but how do I actually reignite intimacy in my marriage? We try talking about our problems for years, but nothing ever changes. So this brings us to the third lie. Talking more, looking at the past, and going to therapy will fix your marriage. That's what Dave believed too, a 46-year-old dad from London who had tried everything without success. As Dave put it,
I'd had psychotherapy, some counseling. It was great from a perspective of having someone to listen to me and someone to talk to, but there was no action from it. It was just talking. I wasn't going anywhere. I felt stuck. I needed to change in my life.
For years, his marriage had drifted into once-a-month boring mechanical sex. He became the guy who talked about big plans but never did anything. And his wife lost trust in him. He believed that if he could just fix the circumstances, like making more money, things will turn around. But deep down, he realized this.
I realized that if I won the lottery, I would still be the same person. I'd have money in the bank. I could move overseas and I could do whatever I wanted to from the money, but I would be the same person.
Until he changed, nothing else would. Therapy kept him trapped in his head, always thinking, talking, remembering. Every new book, every new trick gave a quick burst of hope, and then nothing. He was drowning in information, but starving for real change. After working with Dave for a few weeks, he finally learned to get out of his head and take action in the real world. Instead of just talking about his feelings, he learned to feel them, move through them, and act from strength.
From once a month to 5-6 times a week. And her initiating. There's something about confident masculinity where she is approaching me. It's not clinical, whereas it used to be once a month, like, it's time, shall we have sex? To the sexiness is back into our relationship. Having sex, it's all the time. There's flirty fun in the relationship. It's like we've gone back to dating.
He even landed a new job that paid almost double. He lost 22 pounds without even trying. And what used to take months to sort out in therapy, he can now handle in minutes.
The processing time of something that would be weeks, if not months before, with self-help books or a counselor or therapy, it's happening in real time in minutes.
Dave shows us that traditional therapy doesn't fix relationships. It keeps you stuck analyzing them. Real change happens when you step out of your head and into your body and start doing what matters. You don't need years of talking about problems. You need a few weeks to shift your beliefs, heal your wounds, and rebuild trust and attraction and become the man she can't resist. Now, you're probably wondering how you can achieve the same results that you have seen so far in just 9 weeks. So let me show you how it works in just 5 steps so you can also apply this method to your relationship. The majority of men don't realize their beliefs about masculinity and relationships are completely misaligned with what actually creates attraction, meaning they can never reignite passion or save the marriage. So the first step in my method is to give you clarity on which limiting beliefs are sabotaging you. When we know that, we can make quick mental changes that have permanent impact. Here's what you need to understand. Your beliefs shape your reality. Limiting beliefs like I'm not worthy of love unconsciously push your wife away and create the rejection you're trying to avoid. So most programs fail because even if the techniques work temporarily, you're still at war with yourself. There is a fight between wanting connection but self-sabotaging with old patterns like defensiveness and people-pleasing. So we put everyone through a process that rewires your mental love script. We align your thoughts and actions so change becomes natural instead of feeling like a constant struggle. But here's what most men discover once they get the mental clarity. Even when you know what to do, you still find yourself reacting the same old ways. You still get triggered. You still fall back into those patterns that pushed her away. Because knowing something in your head is different from feeling it in your body. That's why the next step is crucial, going through our healing process to release the old wounds that keep running your marriage on autopilot. Most men try therapy or read self-help books, but nothing truly changes. Why? Because those approaches keep you stuck in your head, talking about problems instead of actually feeling and releasing what's underneath them. The truth is, the love and safety you didn't get growing up shapes how you show up as a husband today. If you keep repeating the same relationship issues again and again, it just means that those old patterns are still active. In our program, you learn to stop overanalyzing and start processing emotions through your body instead of your head. When you do that, you stop reacting from old fear and begin leading from calm, grounded strength. This isn't about talking for months. It is about becoming the kind of man whose presence creates trust. And when those deeper wounds finally release, not only you will feel better, but your marriage and family can feel that shift. You stop needing her validation, stop walking on eggshells, and start leading your family with quiet confidence. Then the next step creates the real magic, and this is what most relationship advice completely misses. You will balance between your masculine and feminine polarity to become naturally magnetic to your wife. You can have all the communication skills and emotional healing in the world, but without polarity, your relationship will feel like you're just roommates. There's no spark, no sexual tension, no desire. The problem is that most men have either become too nice and lost their masculine edge, or they're trying to be masculine in toxic ways that push women away. Neither of these creates the attraction your wife is craving, so we help you develop authentic masculine energy, that grounded confidence and presence that naturally draws feminine energy towards you. This isn't about being controlling or aggressive. It's about embodying the kind of man she can surrender to and feel safe with. When you get this right, she starts looking at you differently. The sexual tension comes back. She actually wants to be around you instead of avoiding you. This is the foundation of attraction and passion that keeps the spark alive. Without it, you're just two friends sharing a house. With it, you become irresistible to her. And then the fourth step is where we master your sexual energy and transform you into the lover she has been craving. And this might be the most important step because, let's be honest, most of the pain in your marriage comes down to what's happening or not happening in the bedroom. Studies show that women lose interest not because they don't want sex, but because the sex they're getting doesn't turn them on. But here's what most men get wrong. They think it's only about learning techniques. But that's exactly why you're stuck in performance anxiety, premature ejaculation, and mechanical sex. That feels like an obligation. The real problem is that you lost connection to your own sexual energy. You're either in your head worrying about performance or you're going through the motions without any real presence or passion. So we teach you conscious sexuality, how to be fully present and connected during intimacy instead of anxious and disconnected. This creates a safe space where real passion can thrive, not just mechanical sex. When you master this, your sex life completely changes. Premature ejaculation becomes a thing of the past. Erectile dysfunction disappears. Performance anxiety melts away. And instead of routine, boring sex, you create a kind of deep, passionate connection that makes her crave you. This is about becoming the confident, present lover who can satisfy her on every level, not just physically, but emotionally and energetically too. Then the final step is where everything comes together. We reconnect you to your highest self and purpose so you can finally create the passionate partnership that you always wanted. Even if you heal your own wounds and master your sexuality, without a deeper sense of purpose and direction, your relationship will eventually plateau. You will feel like something is still missing. And worse, you will start believing it's too late to save the marriage you have. The problem is that most men are living someone else's life, following expectations from society, family, or even their wife, instead of stepping into their authentic power and purpose. When you lose that sense of direction, you lose hope. You stop speaking your truth with your wife. You don't set boundaries at work, and you feel stuck and stagnant. So we connect you to your highest self and what you truly meant to contribute in this world. When you are aligned with your purpose, you become magnetic in a completely different way. You're not just a good husband, you're a man on a mission. And that gives you strength to rebuild what others said was impossible. This is where a purpose-driven partnership becomes possible. Instead of just trying to make each other happy, you become two powerful individuals supporting each other's growth and evolution. You're building something meaningful together. When you reach this level, your relationship becomes more than just avoiding problems. You're creating a legacy together, raising children who sees what real loves look like and inspiring other couples around you. Now, that's the 5-step method, but here's where this program gets even better. You probably heard this before, but you get direct access to me and my team for 9 weeks of hands-on coaching. But the truth is, most coaches hide away and rarely show up after you pay them, but this is my life. In fact, I personally provide direct guidance on your specific situation. That's not something you will get with most programs. Here, you're actually working with the founder who created the method. My team are experts too. They, along with myself, will review your progress with the same depth we would apply it to our own lives. That's why I get messages like this.
And then you impressed me. I think what I sensed from you and many of the other people involved in your program is you really care. And there's so much love and attention to detail that's been put into it. And that's something I mostly have not found elsewhere on the internet. And that blew me away.
You're not just getting the 5-step method and hands-on support, you're also getting weekly group coaching calls with me and other men on the same journey, one-on-one personalized coaching tailored to your specific situation and relationship challenges, private, confidential community of like-minded men who understand your struggles and support your transformation, exclusive practices and techniques you won't find anywhere else designed specifically for transforming masculine energy and sexual confidence. We make sure you don't fall off track with structured check-ins and accountability systems to guarantee your results. As the program evolves, you will get all future updates at no additional cost. This isn't some course you buy and hope for the best. This is 9 weeks of intensive hands-on transformation, walking you through every step. That's why people say this.
This program is the most fundamental and deepest life-changing work you can do on yourself. And every day I feel like I can achieve anything in my life. That for me is the most amazing, life-changing breakthrough. I've done quite a few other different kinds of programs and trainings, but this is like you're bringing out the absolute full potential of yourself.
So I have to say this is the best course I ever did. Every person who did the course with me experienced a lot of change. That was a life-changing experiencing for me. This is really something that sets this course apart from all the other courses that I did. And I really did a lot.
The core program is 9 weeks because that is the time frame where I've seen the most dramatic results. That's when the old patterns are broken, new foundations are built, and everything starts to compound. Some men will see changes within days, like Brian, who his wife initiating in just 4 days. But the real magic happens when all 5 levels starts working together. At the end of 9 weeks, you can sign up for ongoing support to continue your growth, or you can graduate with all the transformation you have experienced. Now, to ensure we can maintain world-class service and support, we can only accept a very limited number of men each month. And this isn't fake scarcity. I simply can't service more than a small group of new clients every month without dropping the quality of support. And I simply won't allow that to happen, because if it does, I won't get the hundreds of testimonials and results like I already have. And that's what grows my business and save marriages. But here's what you need to understand. Don't wait until it's too late and she files for divorce. Every day you delay, the patterns get deeper and the distance grows. If you made it to the end of this video, you already know you waited long enough. Right now, you have 2 choices. Keep doing what you've been doing and hope things will magically improve while watching your connection slip further away. Or take action today and discover the proven method that's already helped hundreds of men save the marriages. If you're a married man serious about saving your relationship, willing to do the inner work, and committed to 9 weeks of transformation, we can help you. In just 9 weeks, you could rebuild your marriage that feels more passionate than your honeymoon phase ever did. Click the button below to apply and let's save your marriage before it's too late. And if you're still on the fence, just check out the hundreds of success stories below.